So I thought I would catch up with a few reviews by basically doing quick reviews of the movies I have seen this year. I'm not going to do all the movies, but I'm going to do a lot of them, especially the ones that were from the Oscars today. I watched the Oscars, so I do know the winners. I'm not going to say who the winners are, but I may mention whether they deserve the nominations or not. So, from the Oscar films, the ones that were nominated for Best Picture was The Father. Completely remarkable movie. Anthony Hopkins was fantastic in this. The movie, the way they edit it to show the scenery changing to kind of reflect the way his mind is working to trick the audience as well was absolutely fantastic. If you have not seen The Father, I do highly recommend it. The second film was Judas and the Black Messiah. This film was not at the cinema. I believe it is on one of the streaming services perhaps. This was a really good film. It was really good with storytelling. The performances in this was pretty incredible. But it is very similar to The Trial of Chicago 7 with the themes in the movie. So I feel like if you've watched one, you might not pay attention as much to the second one that it deserves. Still worth really checking out. Mank is on Netflix. This is directed by David Fincher. I was pretty excited for this movie because I do really like David's movies. I like his direction. I do like the cast they chose for this film. The film overall I found very bland and disappointing. I did not enjoy it at all. I didn't even enjoy the performances. Even though I love a lot of the cast, I feel like this is easily one of their worst films. I just wasn't into it. Minari is a Korean film starring Steven Yeun. A lot of people know him as Glenn from The Walking Dead, so that was the main reason I did check out this film because I'm such a huge fan of his. Truly interesting film. It is brilliant. Very, very depressing, so I found a lot of the times I was zoning out just because I'm like, this is so depressing. I was in the mood for a kind of a happier film. And I feel like the duration didn't give it enough justice. This would have worked better as a TV show, I believe. So while I did enjoy Minari, I just feel like the duration just didn't do the story justice. The next film was No Man's Land. I really like Frances McDormand. She's a brilliant actress, but I feel like she was playing too much of herself in this film. And the film itself, again, was a bit depressing. Understandably so, considering the storyline. I just found myself zoning out again. But the directing, the cinematography for this film was absolutely incredible. So I can understand why so many people have loved it so much. I just wasn't feeling it as much as I was hoping to. Promising Young Woman. I absolutely love this film. This film is incredible. Gary Mulligan as the lead character is fantastic. I absolutely enjoyed this film. If you haven't seen Promising Young Woman, I highly recommend it. The storyline is fantastic. Everything about this film I love so much. The way it balances such a serious topic with humor as well. It's brilliant. I cannot recommend this film enough. Please check out Promising Young Woman if you haven't. Sound of Metal. Again, another interesting film that it kind of balances the depressing, but it's such a unique film that you don't concentrate too much on how depressing it is. The sound editing in this is incredible. Basically, the lead character has lost his hearing, and as a musician, that is incredibly difficult to cope with. So you are seeing his anger at losing his hearing, kind of his acceptance and grief over, like, you know, I'm kind of losing my career. It is a brilliant film. I do recommend checking out if you haven't. And another film that I've already mentioned is The Trial of Chicago 7. This is on Netflix. Brilliant film, really great storytelling. The cast in this is fantastic. So basically, out of all the movies for Best Pictures, I do recommend checking out all of them except Mank. I really did not like anything about Mank. And the only other one I was really disappointed with was No Man Land. But otherwise, every film that was nominated for Best Picture is definitely worth checking out. My favourites were Promising Young Woman and The Father. Other categories that were nominated that have different films than what I've already mentioned was actress in a leading role. So there's Pieces of a Woman. This stars Vanessa Kirby, so she was nominated for Best Actress. She deserved this nomination. She is fantastic in this movie, but this movie hit hard. This movie is about a woman that goes into labor, and after the labor, the baby passes away. And they're talking about whether there's a civil case of whether the midwife was responsible, as it was a home birth. And you just see the performance of Vanessa Kirby as a grieving mother, and Shia LaBeouf as a grieving father, and then like basically how their relationship handles such a loss. And it's an incredible film, completely heartbreaking. I've never been through that before, so I can imagine how hard it is. And Vanessa Kirby, obviously hasn't had to experience this herself either. She hasn't given birth. That labor scene was just incredible. This movie, basically 30 minutes of it is the labor, and then it goes into the grieving, and it's an incredible film. Not easy to watch by any means. Like, I found it very upsetting, but it was a very great film to watch. So that is Pieces of a Woman, if you have not seen that. What other film was there? Hillbilly Elegy. So Glenn Close was nominated as a supporting actress. Please don't watch this film. It's complete garbage. It's based on a true story, and this family is fucking horrible. I love Amy Adams, but the character she plays in this movie, I want to punch in the face so many times. I found it really hard to watch a lot of the film. A lot of the other films that were nominated and that I haven't mentioned, I just didn't get a chance to watch. I did watch a lot of the movies, but you know, it's really hard to watch all of them. Otherwise, animated movies, I have seen Soul. That was in my top 10 movies of last year. And the short, this is spoiler, the short animation that won is If Anything Happens, I Love You. Incredible short. I didn't get a chance to watch the other shorts, but that was incredible. It's on Netflix. Check it out. You will not be sorry, though it's a little sad. Other films I have seen that were not nominated for the Oscars because they are recent in the cinema is Godzilla vs. Kong. I have to admit, I love Kong Skull Island, but I hated the Godzilla movies. I found them really, really boring. So going into this, I'm expecting to hate it. I'm expecting to find it boring. I was correct. It was very, very boring. Half of the film is spent on Godzilla, half the film is spent on Kong, and it's just, the balance is off. It's just no good. I basically went into this film to watch Alexander Skarsgård because I love him, I adore him, but the movie wasn't good. There was a few funny parts thrown in, but overall I did not enjoy Godzilla vs. Kong. And it was very predictable. I'm like, they're not going to fight. Like, they're going to fight, but there's not going to be a definite winner. There's going to be a third one thrown in, and, you know, they're going to have to work together. I was right. So predictable, and there's not much redeemable about it. The Little Things stars Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. This movie is fantastic. I really enjoyed the storytelling. I really enjoyed on edge of like what is happening with the story. It's really, really good. And then we reached the end, and the ending I just found overall disappointing. The ending really let down the movie. I do recommend checking this movie out, but it's not really worth seeing at the cinema, though I think it's finished at the cinema now anyway. It's just a film to, you know, enjoy at home. Don't read too much into it. Just watch some, like, eat some popcorn, watch this film. The performances were incredible. Like, Jared Leto might be a weird as fuck person with, like, the gifts he gives his cast members, especially with Suicide Squad, but he's an amazing actor, and I don't think he gets enough praise of his acting ability. So yeah, check this film out. Don't read too much into the story because you will get disappointed at the ending. I definitely did, But yeah, it's an alright film. Another film that I absolutely hated with every fibre of my being, I don't know how I could hate a film more this year, but I'm sure some films will try me, is Ascendant. If I could die of boredom, I would be dead. It was fucking horrible. Usually I try to like at least one thing about a movie. The fact it was filmed in Australia is cool, but the acting was horrible. The special effects, the fucking cinematography, everything about this film was horrible. At one point, she's climbing out of this elevator shaft, and you can tell that it's just a flat ground. Like, there's no fear for her life, because I'm like, I can see the ground, mate. Like, you're basically on a flat surface. And this whole film basically takes place in an elevator, which I can understand during COVID times. Like, it was a pretty interesting concept of a way to make a movie without having, you know, contact with another person. But it was fucking boring. If you've watched the trailer, you've seen the whole movie. And it still makes absolutely no sense. Like, the trailer explains more than the actual movie does. I hated it. Please don't see Ascendant. Usually I'm like, oh, support Australian film, but no, do not see Ascendant. And the last film that I'm going to talk about is Nobody. This film is fantastic. I cannot recommend it more. If you love John Wick, you will absolutely love this film. It has the same fucking kick-ass action scenes. It is pumped full of action. The storyline is fantastic. Bob, I'm horrible with saying his last name, but he is fantastic in this movie. You probably know him from Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul as Saul. He is fantastic in this film. It is a great balance of action, violence, gore, and humor. Like, it's pretty funny. Again, it's from the writer or producer of John Wick, of all three films. So if you do like John Wick, this has the same vibe. You will definitely love Nobody. So I definitely recommend checking it out. I can't wait to buy it on DVD and rewatch it. So yes, they are the films that I'm catching up on. Basically, a lot of them were Oscar films. You can find out more information on the Oscar films just by looking up the Oscar nominations. And, you know, you'll probably actually see who won if you're interested in knowing that. Otherwise, the other films, Godzilla vs. Kong, just watch on DVD. The Little Things, watch on DVD or streaming services, because I know a lot of people do actually buy DVDs, unlike me, who is still a psycho. Ascendant, don't ever watch. Like, even if someone's like, I'll give you $1,000 to watch this movie, you're going to die from boredom anyway. You're not going to be able to spend $1,000. Just pass on it. Nobody. Please see Nobody. At the moment, it's still at the cinema, so go see it. Mortal Kombat is still at the cinema. Go see that. That is a fantastic movie. My other review, I already uploaded Mortal Kombat. Go see it. I clearly have something for the violence and the gore, because my two favourite films that I've mentioned so far, actually three, Mortal Kombat, Nobody, and Promising Young Woman, all have incredible violence in it, and I love it. So go see these films. And Wrath of Man start this weekend, which I'm super excited to see, so that will probably be my next review. Haven't checked it out, look up the trailer. It has Jason Statham in it. It's directed by Guy Ritchie, so I'm pumped for this film. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the movies that I have mentioned. So, to recap, where's my list? There was The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, No Man Land, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, Trial of Chicago, Hillbilly Elegy, and Godzilla vs. Kong, Nobody, The Little Things, and Ascendant. Mortal Kombat. So, let me know down below if you've seen these movies, what you think of them. If you watched the Oscars, what did you think of the Oscar winners? The ending of the Oscars was really weird. It was very abrupt. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will catch you guys soon. Bye.